time I saw you, we were here because I came to take you to the courthouse to probate your mother's will.
The Braxton family is facing some serious drama following the heartbreaking loss of Traci Braxton. Her son, Kevin Jr., has come forward with shocking claims about how his mother was treated by her sisters. Kevin says Traci went through a lot, being talked down to, dealing with nasty rumors about her husband, and even being pushed out of family events now. Kevin is on a mission to expose the truth, but the family isn't ready to open up. Toni Braxton, in particular, has been shutting down Kevin's attempts to share his story. This leaves us wondering, was Traci really mistreated by the people closest to her, or is there more to the story that we don't know? Let's dive in and find out what's really happening.
Now, if you've seen the show a couple years ago, Tawanda said that there may be illegitimate...
Back when my grandson, Z, used to visit a lot, we'd often hang out at my favorite spot, Starbucks. I'd sip on my veni chai, and we'd have a great time. Even though Z was always full of energy, running all over the place. One day, a woman saw us at Starbucks and posted about it on Twitter, and that's where the rumors started. Somehow, the story got twisted. My sister-in-law, Tawanda, along with Traci's management team, came up with this crazy rumor that I had an illegitimate child. They even took it as far as putting it on the show. The truth? That child was actually my grandson. I remember telling Trey how this wild rumor led us to marriage boot camp. At first, it seemed like a disaster, but it turned into a blessing. We got to work through our issues, and it made our marriage stronger. I even found myself grateful for the whole situation because something good came out of it. But to be honest, things have been pretty chaotic ever since. When Traci Braxton passed away, fans were shocked to find out about the hidden drama in the Braxton family, and it all came to light through her will. In a surprising move, Traci left her son, Kevin Jr., in charge of everything. She wrote, "I want my personal representative to handle all the costs for my final illness and funeral. It's my wish that there be no memorial services by my sorority, Zeta Beta Sorority Incorporated, or the Eastern Stars. This isn't because I don't love them, but I want to make this as easy as possible for my loved ones." She also requested to be cremated, with her ashes given to her son, Kevin Jr., and her husband, Kevin Sr., as for managing her brand, image, and likeness. Traci put Clifton Jones in charge until Kevin Jr. was ready to take over, with her lawyer, Antavius M. Weems, deciding when that would be. What really caught fans off guard was that Traci had other people she could have chosen, like her sisters or her husband, but she didn't. This decision left many wondering why she made such a bold move. Some believe it's because Traci felt mistreated by her family. And with the way the family has been publicly blaming each other, it's hard not to think there's more to the story.
Making them carry their bags instead of letting her on the stage with them.
According to an insider, the Braxton sisters wanted to respect Traci's final wishes, but things didn't go as planned. Traci's husband and manager reportedly arranged a public viewing with Zoom links and a funeral service, even though Traci had made it clear she wanted to be cremated immediately, with no formal services. This decision didn't sit well with the family, and they were understandably upset. Traci had specifically requested no funeral or wake, but her husband went ahead with the opposite. In response, Tamar, Trina, Tawanda, Toni, and their mother Evelyn decided not to attend the viewing. Their father, Michael Conrad Braxton, did show up, but he wasn't on the guest list and was initially turned away. Eventually, someone recognized him, and he was allowed in, though he had to sit in the fourth row. Meanwhile, Toni spoke about missing her sisters. "I miss them," she shared. "I miss working with them." When asked why they weren't together, she explained, "They chose to handle things their way, and I stayed to work." While the sisters are still part of the show, it's clear things have changed, leaving fans wondering if the family will find their way back to each other when the sisters are ready to come back. It'll be their decision. Honestly, I didn't even know all of this was happening, but with the Braxtons, you can always expect something. Having a big family like ours can be challenging. I feel like I'm caught in the middle, focused on my work while my sisters are dealing with their own issues. Whether it's business problems or personal struggles, I know they're going through tough times. But no matter what, our bond is unbreakable. Sure, we might say things in the heat of the moment, but in the end, we always come back together and own up when we're wrong. Family is everything. After all, as for whether they're upset with me for continuing to work, I'm not sure. We don't really talk about business. We text and chat on the phone, but we keep business out of it, and honestly, I prefer it that way. I have to give Traci so much credit for being brave enough to keep working on the show, while the others took a step back. That takes real strength, and not many people could do it. I just pray that the bond we have as sisters and as a family will always stay strong. Traci's husband, Kevin Surratt, spoke out about the rumors, saying he didn't invite the sisters to the funeral, but they chose not to attend. He explained that he was with Traci throughout her battle with cancer, attending every appointment, and they had many talks about her final wishes. However, Kevin also accused the sisters of exploiting Traci's death and being unkind to her during her life.
To the ranch? Well, to talk to Tony, let's get the sisterhood back because this is crazy.
Kevin Jr. has been very open about how he believes his mom, Traci, was treated by her sisters, and the evidence seems to back him up. For example, Traci once hinted at how her sisters made her carry their bags instead of letting her perform with them on stage. There was also the incident where Tamar allegedly kicked Traci off a movie set. Even Traci's friends spoke out, saying they believed her sisters treated her unfairly. Traci herself admitted that she wasn't ready to talk to her sisters at the time because she was already dealing with so much. She said, "I've been taunted, and I'm going through a lot. I just don't have the emotional energy for that right now." This year has been especially hard for her, as she struggled with the loss of her niece Lauren, who was like a daughter to her. Losing Lauren was devastating, and Traci needed to stay away from the family drama to focus on handling her grief. In one reality show episode, Traci opened up to a therapist about her sisters. "We're here to probate my mom's will," she said. "But there are still some issues between my father and me. He feels blindsided, but I don't think everything was done the right way." Traci was clearly feeling torn, dealing with family tension while also carrying the weight of her own emotional struggles. Kevin Jr. has been struggling with the idea that his mom, Traci, left him in charge of everything after her passing. He can't help but wonder if she made that decision while she was fully in control of her mind. "It really hurts," he shared. "I just can't understand why she put everything in my hands. Was she okay when she made that choice?" But Antavius, who knew Traci well, had something important to say about that. He revealed, "I visited your mom before she started declining, and not a lot of people know this, but she gave me permission to record her. We talked, and we recorded the whole conversation." Antavius explained that Traci was fully aware of what she was doing when she made the decision about who would manage her affairs. "She knew exactly who she wanted to handle her image and her brand, and it was you," he said. He assured Kevin Jr. that Traci was in the right state of mind when she made that choice. "She stood in her kitchen, cooked me some of her famous oxtails and curry chicken, and we talked about everything," he recalled. "Your mom was lucid, and she made it clear that she wanted you to take charge, but she also wanted to make sure you were ready for it." Traci, Antavius added, kept some things private, things she only wanted to share with herself. But when it came to her legacy, she knew exactly what she wanted and who she trusted to carry it forward. Antavius couldn't help but reflect on how deeply Traci trusted him. He shared, "When she made her decision, she was totally clear-headed. She trusted me with her legacy, and that meant everything to her. She told me this when I was younger. If anything ever happened to her, everything would be in my hands." Kevin Jr. wasn't shocked by this either. "It wasn't a surprise to me at all," he said. "It was always clear I would be the one she trusted to take care of things." What truly surprised everyone was Traci's decision about her final wishes. She didn't want a traditional funeral or memorial. She didn't want any funeral service or even her sorority to hold a memorial, Antavius explained. It wasn't that she didn't love them. She just didn't want her family and friends to grieve too hard. She wanted them to celebrate her life instead of mourning. Antavius remembered Traci's vibrant personality and how much she loved a good time. "Your mom was always about a party," he said. "She didn't want people to be sad. She wanted her loved ones to come together and celebrate her, not cry over her loss." He also shared how he felt about the Braxton family dynamics. "I was born into this family, and you married into it," Antavius said to Kevin Jr. "You've got the bloodline, and I've seen you grow so much over the years. You've proven yourself, and it's clear why Traci made this decision to trust you with everything." As he spoke, it was clear that Traci's legacy was in good hands, and Antavius was proud to be part of it. Traci entrusted Kevin Jr. with her legacy, believing in his strength. Antavius shared how Traci always knew Kevin was the right person, and Turney Williams helped him understand her decisions. However, Traci's husband, Kevin Sr., wasn't happy about her choice, adding stress. Fans worry about Kevin Jr.'s struggles since Traci's death.
I saw you. We were here because I came to take you to the courthouse to probate your mother's will.
It's still some.
Before Traci got sick, things weren't perfect between Kevin Jr. and the rest of the family. Beneath the surface, there were lingering tensions that were hard to ignore, especially between Kevin Jr. and his father. It wasn't that they didn't love each other. Far from it. But there was a sense of distance, an unspoken understanding that the emotional connection between father and son wasn't as deep as it could have been. These cracks in their relationship became even more apparent when Traci made the decision to leave Kevin Jr. in charge of her estate and brand. The family, already grappling with the complexities of their dynamic, was thrown into further turmoil by Traci's choice. Kevin Jr. could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on him. It wasn't just about the responsibility he was inheriting, it was the emotional impact that came with it. "I think it's hard for him to understand why she trusted me with everything," Kevin Jr. said, his voice carrying a mix of confusion and empathy. The sentiment in his words reflected the strain he felt, not just in taking on a monumental role, but in navigating the delicate feelings of his father, whose trust had been shaken by the decision. The older Kevin felt shocked, perhaps even a little hurt, by his wife's trust in their son over him, a decision that had thrown him off balance. What made this situation more complicated was the timing of Traci's decision. Kevin Jr. couldn't deny the weight of his father's emotions, nor could he ignore the fact that this wasn't a simple matter of inheritance. It was about something deeper, about trust, loyalty, and perceived roles within the family. Kevin Jr. could sense the challenge in his father's heart. The older Kevin had spent years as the patriarch of the family, the head of their operations, and now, with Traci's illness, the power dynamics were shifting. Kevin Jr. wasn't just stepping into a business role. He was stepping into a place his father had once occupied and thought was his alone. That kind of shift was never easy to digest, and Kevin Jr. recognized how deeply it stung. Still, Kevin Jr. remained certain of one thing: Traci had made her decision with a clear mind. He understood that, even in the midst of the family's growing tensions, his mother had always acted with reason, with her own sense of wisdom. In the years leading up to her diagnosis, Traci had always been ahead of the curve, a woman who had a keen sense of the right path forward. He wasn't going to question her judgment now, even if it created waves within the family. She had placed her faith in him, and no matter the tension, he wasn't going to let her down. Kevin Jr. recalled a personal moment with his mother before her health began to rapidly decline. It had been a quiet conversation, one that had seemed unremarkable at the time but had since taken on deep significance. Traci had looked at him with a clarity he would never forget. "You're the one I trust most with this, Kevin. You're the one I believe can carry it forward," she had said, her voice steady and unwavering. Those words, now etched in his memory, were a testament to the bond they had shared. Traci's confidence in him wasn't blind. It was rooted in the years of understanding, the countless moments they had shared as mother and son. The weight of her belief in him was something Kevin Jr. carried every day, even when the rest of the family struggled to come to terms with her decision. For Kevin Jr., it wasn't just about taking on a responsibility, it was about honoring the trust his mother had placed in him. He couldn't allow himself to be consumed by the discomfort between him and his father. The decision had been made, and he had to move forward with the conviction that his mother had acted with clarity, with love, and with the belief that he was the right person to handle it all. Yet, the distance between Kevin Jr. and his father continued to linger. It wasn't easy for either of them to fully embrace the new reality. The pressures of the estate, the brand, and the family dynamics were mounting, But Kevin Jr. was determined to rise above it all, no matter how difficult the journey might be. "A lot of people don't know this, but your mom gave me permission to record her," he revealed. This was important because it showed that Traci knew exactly what she was doing when it came to her legacy. She carefully chose who would manage her image, her brand, and her estate. She chose Kevin Jr. because she trusted him completely, even though her decision may have shocked others. It was clear that Traci's intentions were well thought out. She wasn't making choices out of emotion or confusion. She wanted her legacy to be in the hands of someone she believed would take care of it the way she would. This choice was personal, and it's easy to see how it's been a difficult situation for the family. It also sheds light on how complicated family dynamics can be when it comes to final wishes and legacies. Traci's decision to entrust everything to Kevin Jr. was a clear sign of the deep trust she had in him. Kevin Jr. explained, "It wasn't a surprise. Traci always told me, if something happens to me, I want everything in your name." He recalled moments when Traci was healthy, like when she cooked her famous oxtails and curry chicken. "She was completely in her right mind and made sure I was ready for what was to come," he said. One of Traci's most unexpected wishes was for no funeral or memorial service. It wasn't that she didn't care about her loved ones, but rather she didn't want them to be burdened by too much grief. Kevin Jr. shared, she said, "I don't want people to grieve so hard. I want them to celebrate my life." Traci's focus was on honoring life, not mourning loss. Despite differences between Traci's husband, Kevin Sr., and Kevin Jr., Kevin Jr. understood the deeper connection within their family. He said, "I was born into this family, and you married into it. We all have a bond." Traci's wisdom and clear intentions helped Kevin Jr. navigate her wishes with pride, carrying on her legacy and honoring her spirit in his own way.